What's going on, guys? Powerfist here. So today I'm gonna showcase a new build that has been insanely strong in terms of damage output and survivability and fun. It was a very good build, and I couldn't even remember being an Arc Trap Saboteur being that fun and that strong at the same time. And as you can see, it just insta-phases Shaper without him even doing a second attack, and basically phasing him instantly. Also killing Uber Elder without even dying, what is pretty hard to achieve, I guess, and at the same time having a very good DPS on both bosses. And the Elder Guardians, which were pretty much a joke at this point, and you just damage them from face to face until they die. So this is my character, and I want to go through the equipment first, because my goal was to pretty much self-craft every single piece this character has and using as less uniques as possible. Because, you know, uniques are a good thing, but there are so many things in the game what concerns crafting that you can build a pretty much insane character just by crafting. So I'm gonna show you the weapon first. This is a very good weapon. I just alt-regaled and golden Chris. It's very important that the item level of the dagger is 84, so it can roll the maximum high tier mods. And I wanted to try to roll a double damage mod while focused and as much chaos damage as extra lightning, not as elemental damage as extra chaos damage as possible. So as you can see, this has 21 elemental damage as extra chaos damage and a chance to deal double damage while focused. Combining that with the shield, which has 80% deal double damage while focused, I have a 33% chance to deal double damage while focused, what is insane. I really wanted to exploit the mechanic and to see if it's strong or not, and I can tell it's very strong, especially with arc traps. And yeah, this was the weapon. It's just spell damage, critical strike chance, and extra chaos damage. And this helm I've crafted also myself. It's just an insane helm. It has everything the character needs. It has life, resistance, minus lightning resist, and fire damage to spells. And I pretty much did this just by slamming fossil after fossil on an Elder helmet and buying it, of course, with an Arc Chain's additional time. So the Arc Chain's additional time gives you a 15% single target more multiplier. What is combined with a level 21 Arc, which has also +1 chain. So level 21 Arc and this helm gives you a 30% single target increase. So yeah, pretty much you slam, I think it was metallic fossils and pristine fossils on a helm until you get this fucking insane helm. And it's very easy. It costed me maybe 200 to 300 chaos, maybe 20 fossils, and yeah, you can just do it by yourself. Fossil crafting this league is very good. I really recommend you do fossil crafting because you can get insane items with that. The amulet is pretty much whatever. It's just there to cap my resistances, give me a little bit critical strike multiplier and a little bit of life. And I really wanted to have a double damage mod on my shield, so I alt-regaled a maximum critical strike chance for spells and a maximum lightning res, and crafted multiple modifiers and got a double damage while focused. So this with this is insane. When you have focus, this window of 4 seconds, you do insane amounts of damage. So the boots are also self-crafted, but whatever, it's just a little bit of resistant movement speed. The ring is high life, assassin's mark on hit, a little bit of intelligence. For the mana, what is pretty good because I mind over meta. The belt is pretty much also life and resistances and mana. And the gloves, of course, you will need a shaped glove that has one additional trap on it. So a little bit of life, lightning res, and cold res. And you can also craft this by yourself. You just chaos spam it or alt regal it and exalt it. And pretty much the essence worm is mandatory for your wrath. So get a level 21 wrath. It gets +2 +2 levels from the essence worm, and then it gets a level 23 wrath. It's pretty good, right? Yeah, and the chest, I was trying around fossil crafting a chest, which gives me critical strike chance for my spells, and a little bit of damage taken from mana, because I have 2.2k mana. And I pretty much got a very good chest, so it gives me an insane amount of life. It gives me, I think, nearly that much life that a Belly of the Beast gives, plus it has the other insane modifiers. So when I take this off, I have 4.5k and now I have 5k, so 500 life from the chest. It's insane. You can also use what I used like pretty much through the whole end game, is Cloak of the Defiance, I think it's called, or the Perfect Form. The Perfect Form is very cheap and it gives you so much stuff. It's very good. So if you don't have the money, get a Perfect Form 5 or 6 lingot and you will pretty much good to go. So you don't need to invest a lot of money in this, but I really wanted to craft a very, very good chest. And I also crafted another chest. It's this. The Arcane Surge doesn't work with traps. That's very, very sad. But it's also an insane chest. So really try the fossil craft. You won't regret it. Fossil crafting is insane. Yeah, so basically that's my gear. It's like everything is self-crafted. Everything is very good and everything is like worth the multiple exalts. But you can invest very, very little amounts and get the same result. So you don't need this helmet. You can just get a normal life resist helmet. You don't need the shield. You can get like every shield you want, you know, a little bit of spell damage, a little bit of life. With arc traps, you will be fine. And why did I choose these flasks? So the Wise Oak is pretty much mandatory. It gives you 14% resist damage penetration. And the Vessel of the Vindicar is also pretty good because you are a Saboteur. And one of the ascendancies is that you can't be shocked. So when you activate this flask, you will be shocked. But you shock also the enemies around you. But since you're a Saboteur, you can't be shocked. So this flask is fucking overpowered. Because you instant shock the boss, it takes 10% more damage, and you do fucking insane amounts of damage with your arc because it also shocks. So you stack your shocks and you do an insane amount of damage. Yeah, the Quicksilver Flask is whatever, just an curse immune. And the Eternal Mana Flask is there because when you get hit, your mana gets low, and I use a Mana Flask. You can also use a Diamond Flask or an Ed Series Promise or whatever. And Life Flask is pretty much also mandatory. Yeah, the flasks, you just use whatever. But the good thing with this build is that you will have insane amounts of penetration. So as you can see, where is it? I'm using a Watcher's Eye. Oh yes, boys, I'm using a Watcher's Eye. It costed me a few exalts, but it's very good. It gives me 13% lightning penetration and 7% damage from mana before life. So every damage mana before life stacks because I'm not using Mind Over Matter. But the good thing is that with this jewel and with the chest, you will get like a pseudo Mind Over Matter, you understand? So you save 3 points here and you can invest the 3 points where else. But when you're struggling with survivability, you can get the additional Mind Over Matter. So yeah, that's pretty good. You get a total of like 50% damage from mana before life. That's pretty good. But if you have this equipment, you won't need it. Yeah, so basically I don't need a lightning penetration gem. So if I activate all my flasks, where is my arc? So this is my arc. So it has a lightning penetration of 25% without even having flasks. But when I activate my flasks, it goes up to 49% lightning penetration. So this is basically better than a lightning penetration gem. And yeah, it's just insane, and you get this for free, right? So it's pretty good. And so what we're gonna do is talk about my gem setup. So I have arc. It's very important. You get level 21 arc. Level 21 arc gives you +1 chain, and +1 chain does 15% more single target DPS, because arc does 15% more damage for each remaining chain. And so if you single target an enemy with arc, it has like 10 or 12 remaining chains. For that, it does even more damage. Also, I link control destruction. It's pretty much mandatory for high damage, and increase critical strikes so that you can crit and shock more often, because my critical strike multiplier is pretty high, 455. And yeah, so you get pretty much consistently critical strikes. And also the mandatory things with traps, trap support, cluster traps, and trap and mine damage. And basically the other things are like the Chaos Golem. You can play around with Flame Golem or Ice Golem, but the Chaos Golem is pretty good. It saved me so many times. Like when you get hit by the Minotaur and you go down to like 200 health, you know the Chaos Golem saved you there. And the Chaos Golem is linked to minion speed, minion life, and blind. And this is pretty good because when the Chaos Golem hits the boss, it has a 10% chance to blind the boss, what pretty much stacks, what is this? What pretty much stacks with your ascendancy that you blind nearby enemies. So the boss is blind, the mobs are blind, and you pretty much evade every attack with also your other stuff that you have 48% to dodge attacks. So the enemies pretty much can't hit you, and it's pretty good. So this is just for a little bit of survivability for the golem, so that I won't resummon him more often. And this is my lightning spear trap. It does very good damage. So you place it once, and then it basically makes a sphere around the boss, like you can see here. And what is this? Yeah, and this is a Stormbrand. So I try to play a riddle with a new skill called Stormbrand. So you place a trap, you place, oh, this is not Stormbrand, this is Stormbrand. So you can have 2 brands up at one time. So you place 2 brands, you throw 2 traps, and it pretty much procs 3 Stormbrands. So you have 2 Stormbrands over here, plus the lightning sphere trap, plus the arc, and this does an insane amount of damage. So the Stormbrand is a good addition to the Trapper build. I think you can do it without it, but I think you try it. Yes, so basically last league Arc Traps got nerfed, right? So they nerfed the cluster traps, I think. So you throw 1 trap less. So when I press Q, when I press this button, I pretty much throw 4 traps. It was 5, so it got nerfed by like 20%. But it's still pretty strong. Arc traps are insane. You kill bosses like it's nothing. You clear map bosses, you clear endgame bosses. Like map bosses die in like 1 second. It's fucking insane. You basically, this character is 95, so I pretty much haven't died since then. I leveled from 90 to 95 with dying like maybe 1 or 2 times, and since I'm 95 I died a few times now because I was pretty much reckless and did a lot of Uber Elders, a lot of Shapers, and yeah, it's pretty good. It just kills everything. You can farm bosses, you can farm high level tier maps. As you can see, my map sustain is insane. I have like 50 tier 16 maps with just running this character pretty quick without even thinking, just throwing traps around, and it's very fun. I recommend this build. It's very good, and I recommend trying this, and really try the fossil craft. Fossil crafting is insane this league. It's very good, and yeah, pretty much that's it. I really hope you enjoyed the guide, and yeah, arc traps are insane.